Welcome back, everybody. So this is a long-awaited video. Are you guys sick and tired of all these freaking woke, horrible movies that we've been seeing for the past few years, especially in 2022? Are you trying to figure out what you can do, what you could watch for relief to see an actually good movie with absolutely no agenda? Well, today's video we'll be talking about just that. I'm going to be reviewing a classic horror movie called The Town That Dreaded Sundown. So this is a video that I'm making for a good friend and a good friend of the channel. Brendan loves the movies. He actually has his own channel, and he's gonna also be doing movie reviews, and he's gonna be focusing on horror movies, especially classic horror movies as well. When No idea, but check him out. I know how many subscribers he has. I want to see at least 3 new subscribers to his channel. So let's get into it, shall we? So I'm wearing my jean jacket because the antagonist of the movie also wears a jean jacket. Or at least it looks like a jean jacket. For starters, the thing to remember about this movie is that it was released originally in 1976. So this movie is a few years older than even I am. And to be frank, when Brendan first suggested the movie, I was a little bit skeptical because I haven't watched a movie that was that old, that was especially a horror movie. So I didn't think it was going to be that good to begin with. But honestly, you know what? I'm just going to get into the rating that I give this movie. I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely a movie that is worth watching. So even though the movie was made in 1976, that means that it was probably in production from around 1973, let's say, and then finally wrapped up and was released in theaters. So I don't know how true the story of the movie is, but it's being handled as if it was a true story. It has a introduction and it has an ending where they talk about what happened after the case, where each character is in that point of their life, 1976. The movie is supposed to be taking place in the early or mid 40s. I forgot. This will be the third, no, actually the fourth time I'm recording this video. I've watched it twice just to make sure that I had a good impression about the movie. So it is a horror movie, a slasher. So it predates Freddy Krueger, it predates Friday the 13th, and it predates the Halloween movies. So this could be the granddaddy of the genre. So it takes place in Texas. I'm not going to talk about too much about the actual story of the movie. I'll just give you guys a rough rundown of the movie. So it's about a serial killer who goes after young couples in particular. He doesn't really go out after individuals, but he more goes out after couples, young men and young women that, you know, go to secluded places, try to have a little romance going, things that gets teenagers in trouble in these type of movies. The movie starts off right away with him hunting down a couple. It's actually pretty damn funny the way he actually does it because he's watching the car and it's as if he's stalking the car like he's stalking prey. Well, he is actually stalking prey, but it looks like he's stalking like an animal. So the car takes off and he starts chasing it and breaks the window, grabs the guy, pulls him out of the car, gets him out of the picture, and then he goes after the girl. Now, luckily, the girl did survive, and also The guy survived as well, so that was a failed attempt right there. So both the boyfriend and the girlfriend are in intensive care for quite a long time because he did mess them up quite a bit. So the villain, the protagonist, the antagonist, jean jacket, and he's wearing a white hood. Not that kind of white hood. He's wearing a stock pillowcase, dirty, and you can see an imprint of his mouth. And why I mentioned the imprint of his mouth, because he likes to bite the girls that he goes after. Yes, he is a facact individual. So luckily for the girl, she crawled her way to a street, and a driver happened, and a car happened to be along the way, and he actually knew the girl, so he was able to get her to safety to the hospital, and she was able to recover, as we find out later on in the movie. So then we cut to the sheriff's office. So they're trying to, you know, orchestrate something and how they could catch the guy. They get a report that there's a car in a field, so the police chief goes to investigate, and he finds the killer's car. So he's on the hunt for the guy, but unfortunately, due to the rain and the weather, he does escape.
Norman Ramsey was close that night, but did not fire, for he knew the Phantom was just out of range. Ramsey was carrying a 12-gauge shotgun.
So now we know what the suspect drives. So then we have a secondary character introduced in the movie. So uh, he's a big shot. He's solved many crimes, and they bring this guy in to help them solve the case. He's a very friendly Southern gentleman. I love the way the guy speaks.
Captain J.D. Morales, living legend. The most famous ranger in the history of Texas. Captain Morales,
Yes, sir.
I'm Deputy Norman Ramsey.
Glad to know you, sir.
We're glad to see you, sir.
Thank you.
They start working out a plan on catching the criminal, the would-be serial killer. So they somehow come up with an idea that he's going to strike again in 21 days. I don't remember exactly how they did it, but that's pretty much what happened. So they do a stakeout.
I can't hide from nobody.
Can't help that. I got something on my mind.
Well, let's have it.
On March 3rd, Samuel Fuller and Linda Mae Jenkins were attacked on a lonely road. Now, exactly 21 days later, Emma Lou Cook and Howard Turner were murdered on the Lover's Lane Road. Day after tomorrow's Sunday, that's April 14th, and that serves exactly 21 days since the
Don't
last...
go no further. I got a feeling you're right.
So what they ended up doing is they time their stakeout because they're like, hold on a second, we have a major event going. The grads, end of the year dance, prom. So it's prom night. So they figure that is going to be the best time for the guy to attack. So they lay out a plan, try and catch him during the night, the prom night. So it's actually pretty funny over here. So we have this, like, even though the movie is on serious topics, there is actually quite a bit of comedy relief, especially through one of the officers.
Sparkplug, not realizing the exact nature of the assignment, volunteers to be one of the decoys.
Oh, Lord, here comes your date. Hey, Sparkplug, aren't you a little lopsided?
Go to hell, Ramsey.
They tell me old Sparky had to do to find that outfit was digging the back of his closet. You know, like.
Keep it up, would you? Just keep it up.
So what they end up doing is they team up the police officers, man and woman, and this is freaking hilarious. So you have the comedy relief. So they dress him up as a woman, and it's freaking hilarious. They have the scene where he's in the car with his partner, and the partner tries to get jokingly fresh with him, so he just slaps him afterwards. So kind of stuff that we would definitely not see that kind of stuff uh, today.
What the hell's wrong with you? Watch the hand. Gee.
What I can't understand is how come that was bigger than this?
Just mind your business and keep a sharp lookout.
So this is as far as I'm going to talk about the story of the movie. Then the rest, I would rather not spoil it. I would rather you guys watch it on your own because it is damn worth watching. It's an hour and 36 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. It goes by very fast. I watched it twice. It goes by very fast. So what ends up happening is the killer comes across a couple, takes out the boyfriend so he could have the girl to himself. So keep in mind, this is after prom night. So the girl is part of the band and she plays the trombone. That's why my thumbnail picture is of a guy playing the trombone. If you're wondering, this is why. So he gets the guy out of the picture and then he starts stalking the girl. So he ties her up with his belt to the tree, ready to take her out. And then he sees from the corner of his eye her instrument on the floor. Well, they're in the forest, so he sees it on the ground.
Oh, please don't hurt me.
So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe what's going to happen is because she's a musician, he's going to see her as an equal because a lot of serial killers view themselves as artists as well. So I thought maybe he was going to spare her, or he was going to ask her to play a song for him on the trombone, and then she was going to somehow get away from him using the trombone. But nope, I was wrong. He doesn't even give a crap about her. He just wants to kill people, and that's pretty much it. So what does he do? So he takes the trombone. He tests it himself. So you hear the, but you only hear it once. So he approaches the girl. So the acting, great. The acting is great. So he approaches the girl, and he takes out a knife. So then she starts panicking more because the severity of what's going to happen is sinking in more and more as time goes, right? So the guy takes out his knife, attaches it to the trombone, and starts wrapping wire around the trombone. And then he proceeds to kill the girl with the trombone. So I'm a little bit disappointed with how they did this. Like, it's very, very creative, especially for the time, using an instrument, a wind instrument, especially as a murder weapon. Very creative, but I feel it was a they dropped the ball a little bit. They could have done it a little bit better. So we know that he can blow out air and he can make the trombone sound. So I was expecting for him to each time that he was stabbing her, blowing out, sucking in, blowing out, stabbing, pulling out, stabbing, pulling out, stabbing, pulling out. But unfortunately, he didn't do that. They had him doing the stabbing with the trombone, but they didn't have the trombone sound.
No. Oh no, please don't hurt me. Oh no.
So I thought that was a huge miss of the movie. Maybe they didn't think about it, or maybe they just weren't able to, you know, get a consistent sound coming out of the trombone, especially since he was wearing the hood. So he does unfortunately kill her. So I'm gonna leave it at that because some if it was a terrible movie, I would not care about spoiling the movie and telling you guys the ending, whether the killer escaped, who else did he kill, and things like this. I think it's very much worth watching because the tension keeps on building throughout the movie, and we have a little bit of comedy to break up the tension of the movie. So I very much recommend you guys to watch the movie. I am, but I'm also not at the same time a car fan. I don't like modern day cars. They all look the same to me, even though they might be a different model and whatever. They might look different. They all have the same structure to me. But I do love the old school cars. And this movie, man, the cars. I'm sure you guys were paying attention of the driving scenes that I've been showing you guys. So you have a lot of these old cars, and of course they're going to be in it because it was a movie made in the 70s portraying the 1940s. So you have these huge, clunky behemoth of cars. And keep in mind, in those days, they had no freaking seatbelts. So all the stunts that were being performed, there was actual danger. Every time you saw a car careening out of control, that was very much a car going out of control. And luckily survived it. So these are beautiful, beautiful cars. Cinematography of the movie, amazing. There's so many of these shots of the killer where they pretty much just zoom in on him, and it's amazingly well done. or like the scenes where the victims, it's dawning on them like where they are and how shit is gonna go crazy real fast. And even though the movie is so old, it doesn't feel, apart from visually, it doesn't feel like it's an old movie. It was very, very well written. The acting, apart from one of the actors, the acting from everybody is spot on. Everybody was perfectly cast. Even the guy that was the worst actor in the movie, everybody was well cast. So the film they used to capture the movie was top quality film, and you don't have any grain. Like you have grain because it's an old movie, but you don't have any of those squiggle lines that appear randomly in these type of old movies. You can tell a lot of a big budget was spent on this movie. So I very much recommend watching this movie. It's an hour and a half. It's going to go by very, very fast. Like I said, I've watched this movie twice, and I give the movie an 8.5. The only reason why I'm not giving it a higher rating is because of the trombone and the ending of the movie. I didn't. They could have done it a little bit different. Like I said, no spoilers. Go watch it. But even though I didn't especially like the ending of the movie, it was not a terrible ending. So thank you very much, Brendan, for recommending this movie. Old movies, like it's a little bit interesting because I have an easier time choosing a movie if you're presenting to me an old movie like 1980s, 90s, or early 2000s, and then you present to me like a movie that's made in 2020. I find it so much easier for me to actually choose the older movie compared to the newer movie, and I tend to watch older movies than I do the newer stuff. Man, this has got to stop. So, Brendan, again, thank you very much for suggesting this movie. I'm going to try my best to do more of these movies, or movie reviews and show reviews, as well as the gaming content, because I am a movie review and gaming content channel. So, thank you very much, everybody, for giving me a few minutes of your time. I greatly appreciate it. Hold on a second. You. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're not subscribed, are you? Here you are sitting down watching my video and you're not even subscribed. What the hell are you waiting for? That button right there. I'll give you 2 seconds. Hit that freaking subscribe button. If you got a baseball bat, you use the baseball bat if you have to. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody else for liking the video, subscribing, and sticking with this channel. We are growing slowly and slowly. I know I've been doing a lot of short videos. I know some of you very much like them, and I know some of you guys don't like them. Look, it is what it is. I have to incorporate these videos because they are actually doing amazing for the channel. Within 4 days of posting the shorts, I gained 30 subscribers. So I got to keep on doing it. I want this thing to be my thing. And I want to be able to be financially independent doing what I love to do. That's why I started my YouTube channel. So every single person that watches my videos, I appreciate you. And if and when you subscribe, that's when I love you. All right, Jigga out.